The following production is intended for mature audiences. It includes real stories about substance abuse, addiction, mental illness, classism, child abuse, self-harm, suicide, violence, death, and dying that may be triggering or emotionally challenging for some individuals. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, so again, I'm just going to be focused on your hands, just trying to convey the emotion, any emotion that comes from there. But you do you. We've got audio. We've got audio.
Yeah, got audio.
Okay. All right.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
I didn't want to live. I used to pray at night that I wouldn't wake up.
My life revolved around addiction and hard times and being disconnected from my children and my family. It was this very toxic lifestyle.
7 years doing crystal meth and heroin. It was, it was just downhill really quick. I couldn't hold a job. I was hurting friends and family around me. I didn't care.
It was depressing. It was dark. I was suicidal.
I hated the fact that I would wake up in the morning. I'd go to bed at night praying that I wouldn't wake up in the morning.
I ended up addicted to fentanyl in the last few years after my kid's dad passed away. And I'd completely given up on life altogether.
I lost contact with my family and didn't have shelter or food.
I had 25 years of sobriety at one time. And I slipped.
There was times you'd wake up and everything you owned was gone, whether it was police or other addicts. Yeah, just the lifestyle.
My story is a little different than other people's. I was a normal married woman of 3 kids, had the same job for 20 years. And then my husband confessed to molesting my daughter throughout our marriage. And it broke me. So I turned to fentanyl and meth as a way to cope. And I just, that was my life.
I have been addicted to fentanyl and meth, or I was for almost 6 years. But I also struggled with cocaine and crack addiction long before that. So I've been in and out of addiction for the past 25 years. It was just being in survival mode every day, just trying to not be sick, because that was absolutely awful. So every day was just like the same cycle of waking up, figuring out how to get drugs, get money, do whatever we had to do in order to get unsick, and then we'd start all over again.
It was very difficult. You put your addiction before everything, right? It takes over, and that's all that's on your mind. I wasn't able to stop on my own. And I tried numerous times. I knew it was taking away, my relationships, my loved one, my career. I could see it damaging all that, but I couldn't, it didn't matter because it came first to me.
I didn't know God at all. He didn't exist for me. If there was any part of God in my life, it was me angry at him for how my life turned out.
8 years in depression and in alcoholism, and then the drugs came too, but it was mostly alcohol that took over me.
I struggled with addiction for almost 12 years. Spent a lot of time alone, depressed, dark. It was just not a good place. There was nothing.
It was chaos. I was hopeless. I was lost. Homeless. In and out of jail. Stealing for my next fix. Doing whatever I could to get that next fix. Hurting people along the way.
When you're on the street, there are the couple of people that are nice and treat you with dignity and make you feel like a human. For the most part, you're a disgrace and a burden in society because of the demons in your life.
I ended up losing everything. I lost my house, my car, my job. I ended up homeless in a tent in November. It was hopeless. I felt hopeless. I felt like that was gonna be the end. I thought I was gonna die like that.
Another thing, when I'd go to jail, I'd read the Bible. I started reading the Bible when I was, it's probably 29, 30 or something. Only in jail. When I'd get out, same chaos again. Going out every night, stealing, whatever, cars, wallets, robbing people. It was a bad scene.
Being addicted, I lost my connection with God, so I didn't really know what to expect.
Losing my uncle, it was a big deal, and that's when I picked up that first drink, and I shouldn't have, but I did, and it's got me here.
I'd like to quote somebody. He said, "This isn't even a lifestyle anymore," and it really isn't. It's not a life.
Did you ever think of your future?
No, I didn't. I fell into suicidal thoughts that held me captivated for the amount of, I was suicidal, so there was no future.
What was it like living like that?
It was hard.
There wasn't any future. There was no thinking past the next few hours. It was just trying to make it just through that day. There was nothing bigger or better outside of that. There was no hope. It was just pretty much a really dark place.
I didn't think about the future at all. I thought like this is what my life would amount to, and I accepted it at that time, and that's really sad to look back and think about. But I don't know, I'm glad I kind of had that slither of hope there and was able to reach out and ask for help.
Did you ever think about the future?
No, I just thought about dying. I would say that I was incredibly suicidal. I did die numerous times, brought back with Narcan. And yeah, it just I felt like nobody cared, that that the whole world hated me and I hated myself.
There was no future at that point for me. It was just getting through the day. Next fix, that was it. Like, that's, I don't know. For me, it was, I'd be coming down. What can I do to, get that next shoot, that next shot, whatever, right? Hopeless, lost, yeah.
I didn't have a future. My future was when I could get my next drugs. It consumed me. That's all I thought about, that nothing else was important.
It was actually through a friend at the Foothills Detox Center that told me about this place. I was constantly running away from God, but he was using people. He was using people in those times, so he used somebody, and I never heard from that person again. Maybe like once in a while they do come up and talk to me.
But those are like little messengers.
Yes, they are.
I was at my city care in Lethbridge, and the Streets Alive outreach team just happened to be there. And I have known one of the girls that works through outreach for probably 20 plus years. And I explained my situation about how I was working to get into the medical detox. She actually cared to get me into detox. She drove me to the hospital. When you're in that state, you can't do things for yourself. You can't keep appointments or timelines or anything like that. 9 times out of 10, you don't even know what day it is. She really made an extreme effort to get me into the detox, and I'll be forever grateful for what she did. I remember calling her while I was at the medical detox at the hospital and saying I just wanted to call before I left. And she was like, hold on, I'll be right there. So like her coming to see me, doing things for me, I think nobody else ever would have done.
Streets Alive had been praying for me for 2 years. Although I didn't care at the time. At that moment when I was in jail, I made the decision. My dad drove me to Calgary. My mom picked me up from there, and I started the life of sobriety and being the family of Streets Alive.
When you finally made the decision to go to treatment, what was that first week like?
Terrifying. I had no idea what I was doing, what I was getting into. The life that I knew was coming to an end, just unknown.
very scary at first.
It was uncomfortable. I wasn't really sure if I was gonna stick it out or not. At the time, I was still with my husband, who is also an addict. And yeah, I was kind of just thinking like, I'll do what I gotta do for a little bit and then I'll just go right back out. But that quickly changed.
It was terrifying. You know, you're stepping outside of your comfort zone, and that comfort zone for years was drugs. And that was how I dealt with my problems, how I suppressed emotions. And now it was like learning how to deal with everything sober was like a new experience, right? A lot of ups and downs. But again, I'm grateful for that.
The truth, it was horrible. So Streets Alive, the Exodus program, was my first kick at the can. Yeah, I gotta say the first month was going through my head, you know, what can I do to get out of here? Should I call somebody to pick me up? Just never, I wasn't focused, I wasn't there, like, I was still lost, and yeah.
My first week was a bit nerve-wracking. I was new to this treatment. I didn't know many people in the program, and I didn't know what to expect.
It was hard, only because I was giving up everything I knew. People I thought were my friends at the time. I had to leave, like, my home. This is 5 hours away from where I am from. So I had to leave, like, everyone I knew. But I knew that God put this in my path for a reason, because He's not done with me yet.
First week, it was all new to me. I don't have any biblical background. And I remember walking in and thinking, wow, there's a bunch of Jesus freaks. And now I'm going on 3 months in the Genesis program, and I became a Jesus freak. I've had years of sobriety. I've been in and out of addiction numerous times, and this is the first time I've introduced faith into my recovery, and it's just so much more powerful having God and hope and, yeah, just someone to turn to when you feel like you're all alone, and you actually aren't even alone, so.
I'm going to be celebrating my 120 days next month, and I want to share a little information with you about my story. It's called Goodbye Addiction. Yeah. Congratulations, Terry, on your 60-day chip. I'm going to start my letter by saying, I don't know much, but I do know this. Sorry.
It's okay.
That I cannot do my recovery alone. I also know there is no shortcuts, and I have to go to any length for my recovery. Thank God for my higher power and the AA fellowship and the Exodus program and my support network. For me, the easy part is kicking it. The hard part is living it. And that's why I need the AA fellowship in my life daily. Sorry. AA is a lifestyle for me, again. in order to keep my life in a balance, one day at a time. I make sure I go to my meetings when I'm feeling good and bad, so I can keep my eye on the prize. And that prize for me is recovery and freedom. Also, I have found a purpose again. That adds value in my life every day. That is, I will become an addiction counselor. This will give me the opportunity to help as many people as I can. And the bonus is, it really helps me as well. I'm very excited for my journey ahead, but I have to remember patience is key. That is why I need to do the small things first, so I can do the big things later. Terry, remember, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Oh, sorry. I'm just full of gratitude.
What would you say is the biggest difference now for you?
Able to walk in confidence of what I believe.
Happiness. Looking forward to waking up in the morning. You know, I treat every day as a blessing, and I look forward to the days ahead.
Today, I work for Streets. I have my kids in my life. I have a relationship with my family, family members that I hadn't had anything to do with for 12 years. I now have a really close relationship with them. And I would say the biggest reward that I have experienced is being able to help other people that are on the street that are struggling with addiction, and help them make the choice to go to detox and treatment, and support them in the way that I was supported through Streets.
I was 32 when I got clean. I'm 35 now. I'm over 3 years clean and sober. I'm currently working with Streets. They're a huge part of my sobriety and recovery today.
The biggest change is having a positive outlook. I can now see a brighter future and see that I'm not alone.
I grew up in foster care, so I don't really have a good connection with my biological family. So, yeah. And then where we live now in the house, they're my new family.
I think it's the most beautiful thing in the world is watching, you know, someone gain, you know, their life back, or maybe not back, but build a life that they've always wanted, and, you know, kind of find themselves again and grow and have confidence. And it's truly the most beautiful thing in the world. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's just amazing.
The people that I was surrounded with, the love and support that they showed me in that time was unbelievable. Even if I had to be corrected, they did it very gently and kindly, and I never felt like that before. I've never been treated that way when it comes to my behaviors or the things that I'm doing. So it was, I don't know, it was just nice. I became comfortable and wanting to be in that, I guess, in that home around those people, surrounded by healthy things, because it was really fulfilling.
What's your relationship with God like now?
It's great. You know,
again, going from a place where I was always alone to having him in my life now is I can be all by myself, and I'm never alone, right? I am never alone. Wherever I go, he's always with me.
It's filled with grace and love and acceptance of who I am. And I've been able to embrace what I grew up in.
What does that feel like now?
Home, finally.
It's pretty good. It's growing still, but I think we grow until we die, really, till we see him. It's, you know, I read the Bible every day. I pray, meditate as much as I can, and just try to do his will. Sometimes, yeah, it's hard, but I just try to focus on him in every aspect of my life.
I know that he had no control over what happened in my life. I know that without him, I wouldn't have survived. I wouldn't have made it here. I wouldn't have made it at all. I'm so grateful to have, been introduced to a loving God, a God full of mercy.
I need something greater than myself, because my best thinking got me here. And I know I can't run the show. I know that. I tried, and it doesn't work. And like I say, go to my meetings, talk with the guys, stay connected with my higher power, and pray. It really helps on a daily basis.
If you could go back in time and say one thing to the old version of you, what would you say?
I would probably give myself a hug and say, it's gonna be okay. Hang in there. Things will get better. Don't give up.
Do you give out a lot of hugs then?
No, I'm not a hugger. I would say that the people that matter in your life will support you.
I'd say to stop numbing God out and to seek him, because she's loved.
Don't give up. Just keep moving forward, and don't let your past define who you are. Just keep going.
Get help, man. Ask for help. I know it's hard. I never thought I could do it, but best decision of my life.
It's never too late. There's hope.
There is help out there, a lot of support. If you just look for it, it's easier than you expect to get back on your feet.
I would tell myself to not give up, because God is with me. He has been with me the whole time. And that there is hope. There's always hope.
When you think of the future now, what does that look like for you?
I know wherever the future takes me, I know that I'm passionate about helping people, and I know that's what I want to do in my life. And that's been very changing for me as well, because I know when I was using, like, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't think I had a future. And now it just brings me such joy to be able to help others.
Oh, it looks amazing. Like there's so much hope. I feel like there's no limit. There's so much more out there. That things have grown so big in the last year that I can't imagine what another year and another year will bring. It's really exciting, actually.
It looks like me going to school. It looks like me having a job. It looks like me networking. It looks like me being a part of society and being just, yeah.
That's a tough question. Whatever I make of it. You know, I have the opportunity today to do whatever I need to do, whatever I want to do. I can set goals and I can accomplish them.
Oh, the possibilities are limitless. I'm excited for every day. I'm not setting too big of goals, but I definitely look forward. I'm totally out of that suicidal ideation thing, and I look forward to the future. I look forward to spending time with my children. I've already got, those relationships have been restored. There's just no looking back for me.
I didn't really consider that I would ever be able to live again a normal life. But I'm back in school. I'm doing what I've always wanted to do. I just never got the nerve up to do it before. Everything it's gonna be so wonderful. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. There are no words for how grateful I am for this program.
I can see myself getting back on my career, picking up where I left off. A lot of opportunity out there, both within the field that I work and also when it comes to taking care of myself, my health, and reconnecting with my family.
I'm able to fulfill whatever it is that God has in store for me.
It was the best choice to come here. Like, it was a lifesaver for sure.
Just being grateful for the small things every day has made a dramatic change in my life.
I found hope in helping other people. I think that's where I found my purpose, is, you know, helping people get out of their dark times.
It's wonderful to see people on the street now, and they see where I'm at, and they give me compliments saying, you know, you're doing so well and you look so good, even on the days I don't even think I look good. The impact just from going from being the person in that circle to now a whole new transformation, right? It's nice to be able to help inspire others as well. Just, like, do what she did for me, whatever little way I can, yeah.
I hope that I can offer hope to other people now, going through what I've gone through and where I am today. It's hard to put into words. It's just an absolute miracle.
I just want to let everybody know in this room, know that hard work, I can truly say I learned how to love myself again. I was asked one time by an old timer if I had to change anything in my life, what would that be? Well, my response was, everything. He said, good answer. And I also changed the transformation of my mind. I'm so grateful for my higher power and the Exodus program. It's given me a platform for my recovery and freedom. To me, the Exodus program is a gift. So I do not take that for granted. I am one of the lucky ones who has been given a second chance. And for that, I am grateful. I do know this. I'm no better than anybody, but I'm just as good as everybody. So Terry, remember to have fun in recovery. Don't become complacent and cocky, be confident. And work with the tools you've been given. Stay connected with your higher power in the AA fellowship. Live one day at a time and live in the moment. If you do that, you're going to be okay. Never quit before the miracle happens. Thank you.
That's a really powerful letter.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My name's Terry. Good to be here with everybody.
I'm Amber. I'm 43 years old. I've been in the Streets family, part of the Genesis program, for 14 months now.
My name is Dallas Blassetti, and I've been a part of Streets and the Genesis Women's Program for 14 months.
My name's Dylan. I've been with Streets Alive for over 4 years now.
My name is Emily. I've been in the Streets family for 10 months.
My name is Kristen Riemann, and I've been a client with Streets for a couple years now.
My name is Liam McCart. I've been in the Streets Alive program, Exodus, for 3 months now.
Yeah, so my name is Lindsay Vanderlee. So I moved here to Lethbridge just over 3 years ago, and been in the family since, and still going.
So my name is Mark Strickland. I am the program manager with the Exodus Men's Life Recovery Program. So I began with Streets Alive May 1st of 2023.
I think the most impactful thing that we do is that we love people without any strings attached. And inside of that love, the people feel safe being with us, which is why they have been with us through several moves over the last 30 years. They want to feel loved and they want to feel safe. It is so much fun to watch a life change because they're loved.
Be a light in the darkness. Visit streetsalive.ca to get involved. Awesome. Thanks for sharing your story with us.
Yeah, for sure. That's it?
That's it.
Okay, right on. That went better than I expected.
Oh, you were great.
Oh, was it? Yeah, right on. Cool.
And congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.